Okay, so welcome everyone. As it says here, my name is Chase Johnston Lynch, and we're back here at the Life Rooms in Walton. And this time, thought we would provide something a bit more creative, which is what we call directing scenes. Now, we've been running this course for some time now with the WEA under different names, but pretty much directing scenes to me means making your favorite scene from a movie, right? So hopefully, when you had gotten the information about this course, something about the title stuck out at you, yeah? So maybe let me ask, right? So, good way, as you say about icebreakers.
Yeah.
I asked you your name, and if you could tell me, what about the title directing scenes attracted you to, I'm curious about this course?
I love film.
Well, first your name.
My name's Rosie.
Hello, Rosie.
But yeah, nice, yeah. I love film. I come from quite a dramatic family. And as the next course to do here, it just looks really good. So.
Right. So then let me ask you, if I were to ask you your favorite scene from a movie, what would you say? Any movie. Hopefully something way back when, not just tomorrow, yesterday. Yesterday I saw a run. Okay.
Casablanca.
Here we go.
When the Nazis are singing their Nazi song.
Right.
And he gets up, doesn't he, and gets them all singing the Marseillaise. Yeah, favourite of all time.
Really? Why?
Because it was in the time, it was real. The
Yeah.
actors were real, exiles and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have just said Humphrey Bogart, but.
Alan Humphrey's always good. I'll watch anything about him.
Yeah. No, fantastic classic movie. Okay, and you are?
Hey, Danielle.
Hello, Danielle.
What was the question?
What's your favorite? What about directing scenes that you saw that you would like to take this course?
I actually thought it was something different.
Okay.
What it is.
What did you think?
I thought we'd be writing little scenes and directing them between us all.
You will be.
Oh, right, okay. And then,
Glad to
I
make
don't know
that.
whether you want me legal version of my favourite scene or me one that could get me arrested. Oh, it's
Well,
a good reason.
the way you sell it, I think I want to second it. So let's start with you first.
This is just a dream.
Okay.
Say this to me psychiatrist. Have you ever saw Law-Abiding Citizen?
Yes.
Where the man's on the table?
Okay, I don't remember everything, but got it.
That's my dream. No.
You're gonna have to describe it then.
Okay, so he basically pumps him full of adrenaline so he can't feel pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like cuts all the bits off that he used to rape his wife with.
Okay, right. Legal version, I get it now. Yes.
Yeah. So the illegal.
Wow, I don't remember that in this movie.
It's in the first 10 minutes. You should watch.
Whoa.
It's really good. And then the illegal one really is A League of Their Own.
Now we're talking baseball movie.
Yeah.
American baseball. What do you know about American baseball?
I don't actually know a lot about baseball, but when the film came out itself, or when I first saw it, I should say, it was shown to me by like a stepdad of mine, and it was just really like, the film itself just got me through some weird times. It was like
Was it about the female empowerment of the film?
Yeah, and the army, because like I was always into the army, like everything about it, like where she thought her husband died, just like everything about the way the women stood up and like, you know, made this sport their own while the men went off to, you know, fight for the country. I do
So
just
which
love
scene
that
from that film?
I like when they're all on
Thank
the
you,
coach
Rose.
singing.
Cute.
I do like that one, or when he throws that girl in the shower, that's like awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When he what?
When he throws the
He
girl
throws
in the
the
shower,
girl in the
she's
shower.
when she's running at
When she's having a
and
tantrum.
he's like, stay down, stay down. Throws his ass at her.
Of course, mine would have to be from the trailer. You know, there's no crying in baseball.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
It's funny when he's like asleep, he's on the bed, she's just like scratches up.
I mean, it's like an adult version of Bad News Bears, right? But it's set in the 40s, like you said, when women first started playing baseball because the men were off to war, and people still wanted that sports fix and everything. But so Tom Hanks was playing more like the Walter Matthau, you know, coach was like, why do I gotta coach these women? they don't know nothing about baseball. And and so he's yelling at one of the players, and she starts crying. He goes, "There's crying. There's no crying in baseball." It's just classic.
It's
Love
a
that
little
film.
kid, isn't it, when he's running down the coach
Yeah.
going, ah!
Oh yeah, because as a parent, the woman has to like bring one of her kids along on one of the coach trips. Fantastic. Okay, and you are
Georgina.
Georgina, my bookworm.
Yeah, Gina for
Hello,
let's,
Gina.
Let's get it
Yeah.
short.
What about it that intrigued you? Directing scenes.
I thought, like you, that we would be directing, or we would see clips of films, and you could say, well, I don't think they should have directed it in that way. Maybe they should have done this.
You are correct. That is what we will be doing.
Oh, right.
Your favorite scene?
I can't really say that I have. I
Hey, you
enjoy
can
quite
pick
a few.
any scene out of your plethora of scenes.
Yeah.
No, I can't think like that now.
Any movie you like.
Childhood.
Going down now. Any movie you like.
See, I enjoyed Casablanca. I enjoyed.
Don't pick anybody else's.
That's what I've got to say.
Pick another Bogart movie. The Gordon Twenties. So.
I would pass if I were you. You're going to be here too long.
All right, I see where we're going with you there, Gina. All right, so moving on. Alan,
Don't worry about him.
Hello, everybody.
I'm coming back to you, Gina. Just let you know.
I'm
Coming
trying
back
to
to
think
you.
of scenes. It's too.
Alan? What intrigued you about directing scenes?
Well, just that actually, those two directing scenes. I thought I can't really add what people have already said. It's like thinking about maybe writing staging a scene or a scene from your favourite film, or looking at scenes from films and seeing how it could be. So like all of that sounds very appealing. I'm a pretty big film buff anyway, so that's basically.
That's what I'm looking for, a film buff. So everybody's got the right intention from what the thing is. What's your favorite scene?
I say it's like Casablanca is my dad's favourite film, so that's been definitely a staple at our house. I don't know if no one seen Death in Venice. Have you seen Death in Venice?
Yeah.
Heard it?
Yeah.
No.
Good one.
The very last scene in Death in Venice.
Go for it.
What is
With the
that?
mama.
I have to watch
What the what?
It is, yeah, with Dirk Bogart.
Dirk
Um,
Bogart.
This is another bogey film?
No.
Dirk
Dirk
Bogart.
Oh, sorry, no, Dirk
Violent.
Bogart.
Dirk Bogart. Oh my God, that's a name from
Is it
somewhere.
violent
Oh.
or-
Based on the short
Oh,
story.
No,
look.
I know, yeah.
Italian film, essentially, but we shot in English with Dirk Bogart, and the last scene when he succumbs to what is it? What's it spreading?
Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis. That's right, yeah.
Hmm.
And he's sat on the beach, and the young man who was watched from afar, the young lad, he poses and he points away into the distance, and there's like a widescreen shot, and there's an old-style movie camera, and it's just an amazing shot, and it's the last thing that he sees before he dies, and it's the second to last shot in the film itself, which is very unusual. You don't actually see a film that ends with what a character sees, which is the last thing they see before they die.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's unusual.
Yeah.
It's difficult to
It's
think of another-
subtext. It's subtext, isn't it?
They mix it up with the music, with the mama,
Yeah.
the tragedy of it.
Well, yeah. It's like
What was
Yeah.
that called, sorry?
Definitely.
Definitely.
It's based on a short
Film.
story by the writer Thomas
Yeah.
Mann.
It's quite a long film, and it's full. You really need to watch it in like a really good quality, because the
But
visuals
one
are
of-
amazing. And
Cinema.
it's
One
One
of the
with the
very
Black Hawk
interesting
Down.
things about this film is that it's actually, you could argue, it's the story of the fantasies of a paedophile, but the way it's directed,
Yeah.
it's fantastically
yeah.
moving. People who, they were expecting an uproar from the people when they first screened it, from the producers. You can't, man's a goddamn faggot. But the way it's
Hey,
actually
all right,
done-
language, please.
No, I mean,
No, but that was the quote, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it was the sort of reaction that they were
Yeah.
expecting.
Yeah.
But the way it's directed, you're actually, the film is so powerfully done that you're actually moved by his experience, and it transcends any prurience or any.
Yeah. It's probably
Yeah, I
his
mean-
best film he ever made, but the one it's least known, so he's like
Yeah,
fantastic film.
I mean, but there's no real. There's like, but if you're worried about it, there's no sexual element
No.
particularly.
No.
It's suggested, but
It's
it's like
suggestive,
the.
yeah.
What there's this young lad who he's transfixed by his physical
Yeah.
beauty, and it's all about image,
Oh, right.
and it's,
And the music.
It's
Ah.
about images within images, and kind of like the falsehood, because the lad actually is a bit of a, he's a
Spoiled
bit of a,
brat.
yeah, well, exactly, yeah. and he, well, what's he seeing in? But he sees a beauty that has left him because he's an artist,
Yeah.
and he is a composer who is essentially, he's married, he has a daughter from
It sounds very similar in theme to Lolita. Is it similar?
It is quite similar. It is quite
time when
similar.
it was made as well,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was
We
made
are
by
talking
artists.
about like a bit of a French New Wave as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I assume that this is the 60s, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it was a whole
Still
different
60s.
type of cinema that had a bit more of a raunchiness to it and
Well,
everything.
yeah.
But I was going to say it is very much, especially French New Wave, is very much on visualism, which we're going to be.
Well,
I mean, it is an art
Dirk
film. It's
Oh,
it's
isn't
an
it?
art film.
Dirk Bogarde at the time he'd been a matinee idol, and he was,
Oh, yeah.
of course, gay. He actually left his wife, Gladys Jones, to go and live with a former motor torpedo boat commander.
What, in real
He was
life?
also
Actually,
gay
yeah,
in
right.
southern
Oh,
France.
yeah.
But in that period of his life, he took on some very risque roles. There's another film called The Night Porter that he made.
The Night
In the
Caller.
70s,
I
yeah.
think I saw that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, the
about
Nightcaller.
Charlotte Rampling. It's, oh, sorry.
Whoa!
Oh,
I'm
let's
dead
go and get
to
some.
yeah,
The,
yeah.
Coffee smell.
Oh,
We're in our element now.
I should have waited until break.
There's the paper towel.
Sorry.
Just
All
get
right.
some paper.
So let's just move down the line so we can get to the start of it. You
I
are.
want to go as well.
And you are.
Am I?
Your name.
Any number of different.
Hello, Ralph.
Hello.
So,
Chase.
Ralph, why directing scenes? Obviously, you're a fan.
Same sort of reasons as have already been stated. In terms of favourite scenes, any number, but one that comes to mind at the moment because it's relevant to my political life is the tragedy of the realisation by the Alec Guinness character in The Bridge on the River Kwai
Go on.
that he's actually achieved the exact opposite of what he was hoping to achieve. He's
Yeah.
lost the plot. He's got his lads to build the bloody bridge better than the Japanese can. And he suddenly realised he's been doing so.
Was that the David Lean film?
Yeah,
The Bridge on the
yeah,
River
David Lean,
Kwai.
I think the Bridge on the River
But
Kwai.
it's the look of, it's the way that Guinness
on the
plays
Kwai
the role.
Noi.
He suddenly, the scales suddenly fall from his eyes, and he realises he's actually been assisting the enemy war effort.
Yeah.
And I think the tragedy of that, given that his intention has been to motivate his blokes and keep them morale up. Yeah? And I think that has notes of high tragedy about it.
And all we really remember is the whistle.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
the train coming.
You know, no.
Oh, you mean piano
The
bell?
whistling.
The tune, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I can't whistle, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, that's really one of the famous things that we remember about that. But no, fantastic. You know, Gina, have you had time to think? One scene, Gina.
One of my favourite films is The Red Dragon.
The Red Dragon. Check you out. That was a book, wasn't it?
Yes,
That
and that was
terrible, that's the
one
one.
I saw.
That's the one about the manhunter. Yeah.
That was one I saw. I didn't talk right through. Thinking, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do this and all that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, even though it was done from a book I read.
Wow, look at that. See, no, I hope that you all start to see what I'm seeing is that one would not expect various responses, but the responses that people give to their favorite scenes, usually not just a response to who they are, but it opens me up to, oh wow, I can relate to you on this, that, the other thing. We had those things in common. I hope everybody, see when they ask me about icebreakers, you know what I mean? I hope she understands.
Yeah.
Just let me do what I do. But go ahead, Wendy. Wendy wants to enjoy the icebreaker thing. So first of all, why direct these scenes there, Wendy?
Well, when I first saw that, I was like trying to tell people about something. I don't know where. I was thinking. The first thing that came to my head was Jimmy Stewart's "I Wish I'd Never Been Born in the Wonderful Life," and I was like,
my God! That is mine. This is in my top 3 of all time. It's a Wonderful
Really,
Life.
it's just wonderful.
They're
That's how I was explaining
They're
it,
actually
wasn't it?
screening It's a Wonderful Life on the Plaza Cinema, the community
I know.
cinema in Crosby. But might I also tell you
Yeah.
that Jimmy Stewart was also a very, very high-ranking officer in the US
Oh yeah,
Air
you
Force.
told me this. Very
And
interesting.
he both commanded a squadron of bombers over
Bombardiers. Yeah.
in the German, doing the bombing of Germany.
Yeah.
But he also, age 60 plus, flew in command of a B-52, when they were bombing Hanoi, and he was a general he was a mate of Eisenhower's, and he was a general in the US Air Force.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the guy comes over.
see
His
where our
episode.
information's coming from.
But-
So I get ya.
But that was how
back
I
to you
got
is
to
why
just.
that's your favorite film.
And it really is, yeah, I really love that. But can I just say, I saw a film last week, and I can't believe I've never seen it before, and it was a Jean-Luc Godard one, Orpheus. And
Is that Black Orpheus you read?
yeah, and it was all these scenes. I thought, oh my God, that's in such a film. That's in such a film. That's on such an album
Right.
cover, and it influenced so many people, and it was an amazing film. Have you seen it? It's incredible.
Orpheus. When was it
Orpheus.
made? I've not
About
seen it made.
1950
Is it Orpheus or Black
something.
Orpheus?
No, just Orpheus.
Okay, so they
I
made a
think
Black
it's
Orpheus.
Orpheus. Oh, it's brilliant. It's just, I just thought, oh my God, why haven't I seen this before? It was amazing. On the fact.
From much
Right.
It was Agnes Varda. Agnes Varda has been choosing
my
all the films.
Film choices are so far away from all you guys.
You haven't even heard of mine, but so Chase.
Yeah.
Well, of course, directing scenes because I like making scenes.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you my favorite scene. My favorite scene. So It's Wonderful Life is up there, but the one that always comes back to me is John Sturges' Magnificent Seven. I can't stand how this movie's been remade over and over again. It has no need to. Every time it's on a Sunday afternoon,
It was right.
you are
It was right the
you are
first time.
dropped right in to watch the whole
It is
thing.
also a remake
I was
itself.
going to say.
Well, no, okay.
Back on
It's a
Patrick
remake.
Dunn's
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You know, but the whole point about it is that film, the way they Americanized it, let's say, is classic. So Eli Wallach, faced off against Yul Brynner, when he says the classic line, if God had not wanted them sheared, he would not have made them sheep. What? That mic drop. You know what I'm saying?
What about I never thought I'd ride shotgun on my hairs?
Or Robert Vaughn, I'm a deserter hiding out in the battlefield.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Great line.
So the thing to me is, it's kind of like when writing, as some of you wanted to be able to be involved in, is that it's intricate to the plot. But mainly, as a director, which this course is about directing. Being a director is about being a visualist, right? And the way you're a visualist is because you talk with pictures. Not just on a play on word of talking pictures, but you talk with pictures. The image has to say everything, which is why French New Wave is such a fantastic thing. Which is why Chinese cinema should not be ignored. Which is why, everybody talks about the film Amelie, right, with Audrey Tautou. It's kind of like, the thing is that when you're in another country and you want your film to cross the pond, you focus more on the visuals. You focus more on telling the story through action. But as well as having good characters, good plot, and good story. But this course is about paying homage to that. So when I say paying homage to is that, we will be shooting scenes. That means you will have to create them, right? Based upon the scene, so you watch a scene, right? And then you will make your version of that scene, right? So let me give you an example, right? I'm just going to talk to you, but we'll watch it, in a minute. Jaws, as I was saying, Twinkie, right? Classic film about a train wreck, right? Because the shark didn't work. It's supposed to be a horror film, and it has so many problems with this wonder kind known as Steven Spielberg, who robs his way into the studios and all this other kind of stuff. And he was given the chance to make a feature film because he made a TV movie called Duel.
Yeah.
Right? Dennis Weaver. Man versus Machine. The character is actually named David Mann. Right? And it's about this man being followed by a mysterious truck on his journey home. Right? We never see the driver.
Yeah.
No.
Clever. Right? Never been done before. Just young kid, coming up with this idea. Now the funny thing is that when he, in his exasperation, when he finally defeats the trucker by getting it to go over the cliff, it goes over the cliff in a way where As the truck, the 18, one of the 18
Is this where they're
semi.
on the radio?
What?
Is it where they're like on the CB messing about and the truck's following them? Is that the film now? Am I thinking of something else?
No, that sounds a bit
He
like
does
Convoy.
seem to be in the
But-
wilderness, though, doesn't he? In sort of like the. Is it going through the Grand Canyon?
That's
or
It's a
something?
desert, not a wilderness.
What's it
It's-
called?
It's called Duel.
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 It's fantastic
Yeah,
because
right.
it's very little dialogue, so it's
Yeah.
very much about the direction that the visual is. But the main thing about it, so when the truck goes off the cliff and it's going down in a storm of cloud and fury, it's like as if the truck itself
Yeah.
is a beast.
Yeah.
And it's
It makes
making it
noises,
cry,
it
yes.
creaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making it cry at death.
Like a dragon slaying. Yeah.
They're very much like a dragon slaying. Reason why I point that out is, so then now Spielberg is offered, hey man, make a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be bypassing Sugar Land Express. You know, make a movie. So he's like, I'm going to do the same thing, man, versus shark in the ocean. You know, isolated out there, but he'll have two other people, you know, Quentin Hooper with him out there. But it was such a huge endeavor to think about at the time, the shark never worked. So we never see it. And it's like, you know, 6 months in, it's like, come on, dude, what's going on, man? Just, you know, somebody wake this shark up because it was a machine. Man versus machine again. But, clever way, they decided to utilize music and what you didn't see. He decided to go back to the drawing board and take the Hitchcock suspense route and create a bunch of POV shots up from the shark. And using the music as a cue.
It's an anxiety build.
Yeah.
Slowly, yeah.
Now, you're in the pictures and you're like, I'm like 10 years old, I'm watching it like this. I mean, that's great. Yeah. My mom was
I
terrible
remember
taking
the first
pictures of
time
movies.
First time I screamed the Daleks, I was behind the camera.
I've actually never been in the sea because of that film. That's the truth. Because of Jaws. I've never been in the sea in my
I
life.
have
Never
to
felt
say
No,
on
that-
it.
I can imagine
I
because
think
the
it's
terrible
minutes
shots of
down.
people running out of the
Our
water,
movies.
you know, the huge expansive shots of people running out of the water, I can imagine that. You know, but this is when a small film that was a train wreck became the first blockbuster.
Yeah.
We never know until we know.
But can I just say, I agree with Gina on this one. The book's better than the film.
In the book, in the Peter Benchley book, Hooper sleeps with Brody's wife.
Yeah.
There's also a
Better.
stunning
Still-
what's his name?
I
Quint,
still like the
the
book
guy
better than
who
the
shows
film.
everybody. My favourite character in the film is Quentin.
Yeah.
The speech that he gives, which I think
The
was written
Indianapolis speech, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a really
Powerful.
highlight. That's a favourite scene of mine.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, in that film as well, you know, there are other magic moments in that film
Yeah.
as well. But that scene, Quint's in the book, his language is Effingham.
Blinding all the way through, yeah.
Particularly when he's swearing at the shark.
Yeah.
He calls it an uppity C word and,
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
sorts. And,
Yeah.
I read that when I was, it was in the
pretty
school library, in the school library.
Yeah.
And I thought, my God, because the film is a PG rated, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of the scariest PG rated films
Well,
ever made.
exactly, because they didn't even know they had a horror film on their hands.
Yeah.
You know, and but so what I was trying to get to was, so in the end, when Brody finally, you know, takes down the shark, it still comes down to one man versus this huge machine or this huge dragon. The death scene of the shark going down in the water after his head explodes in the storm of cloud of fury is the exact same sounds he used in Duel.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
if you look at the commentary or listen to the commentary, it's the exact same, it's the same thing. And it's shot in the same way. Except for going down a mountain, just going down into the ocean. You know, and that is when you kind of like go, oh, I got something here and I'm paying a homage, huh?
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
just saying, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, my point is that, like, it's great that you guys love film and everything like that, and that's what we will get into. It's like so we will like pick out scenes, we'll look at them and examine them, and figure out what scenes that you will want to make, and that will be what the opportunity will be. Not today, but I mean over the course. But first, you have to learn how to do it, right? So, the next round of questions I'm going to ask you, it's going to be funny. So, as a director must know their style and technique. Right? Because if you don't know your style and technique, then you're just a person with a camera that hopefully has some friends that last at least 2 to 3 days. Right? That'll listen to you while you're making your film or something like that. And that's where you got to separate yourself from the amateurs to the actual filmmaker. So my course has always been about helping people find, if they want to be a director, what their style and technique is. Now, I always started off with one student in this class. I said, so my style is a film noir style, right? Which means I have a love for what I call chiaroscuro lighting, light and darkness. Every film I make has a form of shadows in it, right? That's my go-to, is to just make the film black and white. But I'm not afraid of color in the sense of a neo-noir sense, where I will have what I call two-tone lighting. So I will have, let's say, blue in the background and gold in the foreground, so that way the characters are lit with a nice yellow sheen, but then, the background is lit differently. And that's what they call like a neo-noir aesthetic. But I know what my style is. If you look at my films, which you will, because that's my channel, Square One Visual Grammar.
This is what that was?
Yeah, sorry, that's my YouTube channel. That has all my classes on it as well. So your assignment will be, because you want to do this, your assignment will be to go and look for the playlists, and I'll point them out to you, where other students like yourselves have taken these courses. And they've made these type of films that you're going to be expected to do. Right? But anyway, so that's my style. Right? My aesthetic. What's my technique? So the technique I utilize to have my own sense of signature is what I call a comic book technique. So what that means is I'm a big fan of comic books. So I'm a big fan of panels. Right? So, widescreen, short, close-ups, all that other kind of
18, 20
I
minutes.
know. We're on recordings, it sounds like.
All right.
Are we all filming for?
Ralph?
As Ralph just said, I did say, right, that I was filming myself.
I didn't hear, sorry.
Right?
I was
And I'm just filming
posher.
myself.
Posher.
Now, as Wendy said, is that the idea is if you're going to direct, right, we're making films for your Life Rooms channel that has directing scenes as a playlist on it, right? So that is what this course is about. So we need to overcome things, right? Right. This is about building confidence. Yeah, it's about building confidence because nobody said anything that is embarrassing to themselves, right? I just want you to realize that. And what we are doing is we're learning more about each other as we go along. Okay? Right. So after explaining style and technique, I had a student in the class, and I said, "Yeah, man. So what's your style and technique?" And he goes, "Clowns and robots."
Is that a technique?
Yes, it is. Wait for it. So, I thought, wow, what is really interesting about this is that when people you know in your life find out you're taking a directing course and you probably have a camera, they're going to come after you, right? This is where the employability comes in. They're going to come after you and want you to make their music video, shoot their event, make a film, right? And everything, you must know how to do it. I ain't got no money and all, you probably need it for your show reel. And we're supposed to have a conversation, me and you, right? So, as a working filmmaker, people have come to me often enough to ask me to make their music videos because, as I said, I used to work in the industry where I used to make Wu-Tang videos.
I'll find out about that later.
Yeah. And so in that aspect, yes, I got paid a lot of money, but I'm here now. They don't have record labels. They don't pay directors the way they did. So people who want you to do something for you, right? We sit down having a cup of coffee, and they say, I want cars, I want girls, I want clubs, right? Well, how much you actually gonna pay for this? Pay? Got a camera? Whoa. I'm gonna get all that stuff together, right? So how about this? You put on the table how much you think you're worth, right? So they put down 5p. Yeah? That could be like anywhere from 10 pounds to 100 pounds. Still 5p, right? When you're asking somebody to make you
Yeah.
a full-on video, right?
Not in a realistic amount.
Right. So I'm like, hey, you want cars, you want clubs, you want girls, right? 5p. I have to get you equipment. I have to get you a crew. I have to then spend like weeks editing, right? I'll do that because I'm stupid at that time, right? And then they're not satisfied with the final work. Dude, you used to do Wu-Tang, and Wu-Tang used to give me hundreds of thousands of dollars to make their videos. But you put 5p on the table and expected the world. And now you're not happy with what you got. Even though we gave you a beginning, middle, and end. Right? Which is the whole point. So then I said, okay, what people need to do is tell them ahead of time what your style and technique is. So when this guy goes, clowns and robots. So I said, put yourself in that meeting. So I'll make a video for them, but I let you know my style and technique is clowns and robots. Right? And then the guy goes, well, I don't care, man. If you're going to shoot my video, you're going to shoot my video. So then he comes back a couple of weeks later with the video, and it's full of what?
Clowns and robots.
What the hell, man? The artist is like, yo, dude, what's up with all these clowns and robots? And he's like, but I told you what my style and technique is. Clowns, because they scare me. So I shoot a lot of shots around things that I feel would be like fear type shots. Over the shoulders, all the thing, no shocking, maybe an explosion of color, right? That's my element of style for clowns. Robots, because it's technology, right? I might have a robot toy in the shot, or I might have, something mechanical, or I might want to say something about, the world being destroyed by technology, and I want to shoot some kind of visual element to that. Remember we were just talking about God and the French New Wave. So, when you know who you are as a filmmaker, you're going to bleed that into your work. So that way, when we see your film full of clowns or robots, technically, I know that that's Bobby's film. Get me? So in a class of directors, the idea is for me to make each of you an individual filmmaker. That's what I said my goal is now, right? Not to just say, hey, take a camera and shoot something. Not to say, hey, let's look at a film and then let's look at doing the same thing that was done, because what's the point, right? So when we have showcases, for example, in the original form of the course, which you'll see when you go into the channel, we have a thing that we call the interpretation film, which I don't know if we'll get to. It depends, right, on how fast you guys move. But the interpretation film, which is the same story, different style, right? So because of the short aspect of the course, as I said, your homework is to go away and watch these things. Because we were given a script by a writer who had, it was a scene between a husband and wife, right, at a dinner table, and the wife wants the husband to sign a birthday card for their dead daughter who died a couple years ago. Right? Now, it's really sentimental because the wife hasn't let go. The husband wants to let go, but he also wants to be respectful to the wife. Right? So there's a little bit of conversation, a little bit of brickliness there and everything like that. But then he just ends up signing it. Love that. Yeah? So, obviously the writer would have just wanted a simple, dinner table scene, right? Where that happens. But for the interpretation course, 10 directors decided to take 10 different approaches to the same story. So what we ended up with was the same script, same couple. One was the apocalyptic version. One that was in the apocalypse. One was a zombie version. One was, you know, a CCTV spy version, you know, and the main thing was, one, oh, that was a different one. But the main thing was you can watch the same script 10 times and still enjoy it because you're watching it from 10 different directors who are all 10 different people. Does anybody understand what I'm saying?
Signature.
Visualism is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what you'll be developing in this course, Daniel. You might not know what your style and technique is right now. But what I feel is, as a start, let's just have a little fun test. Right? What you think from my examples of what your style and technique is. When you actually start shooting, it could change. But it would be something that we could go back to in the end and see, are you still there? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll start with you, my friend Ralph.
Yeah.
What you think could be your style and technique that you would love to explore. You might not fully know how to do it yet,
Yeah.
but when you make a film, what do you think your style and technique would be?
Something that brought out the subtlety of irony, particularly in relation to things like tragedy.
The subtlety of irony.
It's the word tragicomic, have you heard of that word?
Yeah.
Something like that.
What word, sorry?
What did you
Tragicomic.
Tragicomic.
So irony.
It is one
about
word,
irony.
or irony is part of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Irony is a big part of tragicomedy.
Success coming out of failure, failure coming out of success, that sort of tension.
So would you say that would be a style? A tragic, comedy, irony. Yeah? Let's say for now. Yeah?
Yeah.
So to explore that style, how do you think you could do that, technique-wise?
I think that would be largely down to plot structure.
Plot structure? Well, we're talking about that story. How would you shoot it? How would you shoot something to be able to... So this goes back to you as film fans, right? Think about a film that is like that. A tragedy, or that uses dramatic irony maybe, or whatever, that you can pretty much think, oh, that's how they did that. That's how they flipped the script. Does anybody understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
any
go back to the example he used, the change of face, on, you know, the look of recognition on the face of the Alec Guinness character. And,
Right. So, your technique is close-ups.
it would include that, yeah, it could do.
Well, look, dude,
That's
this
the
is
example
only
I
day one.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you...
Close-ups or extreme close-ups. So let me give you an example. Wait. Let me give you an example. Right? Oh man, what's that film called? With Cary Grant and Deborah Kerr, where
Rear Window.
no. Cary Grant
Oh
and
yeah.
Deborah Kerr.
I'm thinking of another Cary Grant film
Gets
actually.
run over. What's that one?
That's right. The one where she gets run over. Right? The one where she gets run over. Right? And so like they left like their partners. They were supposed to, you know, like get them their short. In a way, they had like an
They were
affair.
taking some time out and agreed to
Yeah,
meet up.
and they were going to meet up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was going to meet him, and she gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
But for him, he thinks she never showed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm getting high. I love this. That's damn camera still rolling.
Yeah.
Still rolling.
Yeah.
What?
So wait. So he finally
Can't think of
sees
the
her
name. What is
in
the
the
name
shop.
of the film? I can't think.
Right? He finally sees her, right? And he sees her in a movie theater.
Yeah.
She's sitting down. So he goes, hello. She goes, hello, right? And he's like, all right, don't get up then, right? And he leaves. And then he follows her back to her place. And again, she's sitting down on the couch. And he comes in and he's like, I can't really believe you didn't show up. You didn't talk to me. And in the theater, you didn't talk to me. He's going through all of his rants and rages, right? And if she's not moving, she's holding back the tears, right? And he's like, what the hell, man? I thought we meant something to each other. And then look at this. He goes, he sees,
The wheelchair.
Wheelchair.
Yeah.
he looks around, and then he notices that she's not moving. And he just stands against the wall. And it just washes over him, the realization.
So much time wasted for no good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he comes to her and he's like, he's sorry. She's like, she's sorry and all that kind of stuff. And the people's bawling. everything.
What was that called?
I don't remember.
It's the one they go on about in Sleepless in Seattle.
That's it. I can't remember the name of
That was in my head. Then Sleepless in Seattle was in my head.
it. Yeah, because it was a Sleepless in Seattle type of moment.
Is that where he's on the radio show?
Yeah,
Sleeps
yeah.
in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta see the
She watches
choreographer.
it again and again. This
I can't remember the name. It'll come to me.
It
but
will
can't
come to
remember.
us on the break.
But my point is, close up. So think about that,
Yeah.
right? To be able to express the irony of a situation, you mentioned facial change. The reason why I brought up that film is because the facial change on Cary Grant alone was the price of admission. You know? So.
He does that a lot in, I was going to say, I'm not sure, it was a Frank Capra film, because he
Probably.
because I think, do you remember Arsenic and Old Lace?
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's seen that, 1940s comedy, great film. It occurs to me actually, there's a few scenes in that which are great, and Cary Grant's use of facial expression in that is quite, it's almost like a sort of Tom and
When he
Jerry
looks into the
cartoon, the
box,
way
he
he
sees
changes
the body.
facial expression. He had this escalating series of mad events with his family, who it's revealed progressively, especially his two old biddies, his mother and his aunt, if I remember
Yeah.
right, something like that, who are bumping people off.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And it's just this progression of lunacy in his family that just gets revealed and revealed.
Yeah.
And it's quite a formalistic approach, which is like a standard sort of shot, reverse shot. You have close-ups, and it's capturing, and this is an expression that you will know, which is one that is important, mise en scene.
Mise en scene, yeah.
Mise en scene. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know what it is. It doesn't mean
it's like,
anything.
it
Okay.
means, you know, what you're capturing in terms of the image, the setup is so important. It's like with that type of comedy,
Yeah.
which is sort of, for a 1940s film, it gets
Yeah.
quite dark.
So let me just explain that. For those who actually had taken a film course, they would have heard this word. It's crap. It doesn't mean nothing. Same thing as the rule of thirds. It's crap. It doesn't mean nothing. Right? So, mise en scene. All it is art direction. Right? So what they're trying to say is, as a director, if you want to like, oh, look at everybody, mise en scene, right? It's like everything in that scene means something. So as a director, you need to think about that. You need to think about why we have a life rooms cup on this table. Because we're in a life rooms. Why are you drinking whatever that water is that it's supposed to be, right? Let's say it's Evian. Why are you drinking that? Product placement, because they gave us money, right? Why are we using that projector and not that projector? And why are we focusing on this room and all that? Because as a director, you know, they have what they call like a four-wall exercise, right? Now, jumping ahead, only because it's 10. So, what that is like every room has 4 walls. The 4th wall is generally the camera. You've heard of that term. So, like in that aspect, though, is that you as a director have to figure out how am I going to shoot this room, right? I'm stuck in this room because I'm stuck in my friend's house. They gave me their house for an hour. Had no clue I was going to be there for 5, right? But I had to figure out where I'm going to shoot my scene. Where is the argument going to be, or where is the entrance going to be? Because I fake it. You know, camera work is all about fakery. That's our only one door. But we may need the characters to be here, and we may need it to be like they came through that way. So it's all about how you shoot it. So mise en scene is how you set the scene of direction. Anybody understand? So it means nothing beyond that, right? But it has a nice French word to it. Rule of thirds is the same thing when it comes to frame composition. It's kind of like, oh, you see, scientifically and mathematically, we gotta do the rule of thirds, and then that's gotta be down here in the corner, and then that's so it really isolates the shot of the flowers right here. And right? Focus your camera, shoot your shot. Has nothing to do with rule of thirds, you know? Has to do with frame composition at the end of the day. So the 4-wall exercise is like, even though the door is over here, I need to make it like the door is over there. And I do that, how I shoot it with the camera angles, right? Or the door could be in a whole other room because I don't want a glass door, I want a wooden door. Again, camera angles. So it's like if I have my 2 characters here, All right, and they're sitting here, and they're looking at the door. Who are they looking at? I'm looking at the door, right? Cut. We go all the way out there and put the camera on that door of the bathroom, right? Shoot it, and then we come back in, and then the guy goes, "Oh, you're looking at that door?" "Yeah, I'm looking at that door." "Oh, that door." And in the edit, that door is now in this room. Anybody understand? So this is what I'm just trying to say is that frame composition is everything. Mise en scene is just a word. It's art direction. Four-wall exercise is how you're going to figure out where you're going to shoot your shot. So we focus more on the visuals in this course than on the written word. You have something, Ralph?
Yeah, it's just when you say about the fourth walls, there's a famous scene in The Omen where Damien actually breaks the rules and looks at the camera slyly. Remember?
You talking about the end scene?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I watched the film on Richard Donner saying that. It's kind of like he lied to the kid. Like the kid turned around and he was looking at Richard Donner, the director behind the camera. He's like, "Don't smile, don't smile, don't smile, because you're the devil," right? And the kid goes, "Don't smile, don't smile." I actually was smiling because he wanted that.
You wanted that, yeah.
He wanted that moment. So it wasn't an accident. It was just a manipulation, you know. But as a director, you have to be a master of manipulation, you know, to get what you want. See, me, what I tend to do is because I focus more on visuals, I tend to talk to the actors while I'm shooting. You know what I mean? Because I feel that acting is being, right? You're not acting the part, you're being the part. And the only way you could be the part is to be seduced into that hypnotically sometimes. So I would take you down a well, right? So if I know my scene is, let's say, and I'm not picking on you or anything, let's say I wanted Danielle in a room full of white walls, right? And she's in a corner and everything like that. I probably don't have to talk to you, right? For you to kind of get into a state. But I still would. Because I know it's going to be all about sound. It's not going to be about anybody talking. So I can freely actually say, "Okay, you're freaking out. I want you to go down into that well. Only you know what's down there. Only you know what you're afraid of. I need you to really go there for me here in this moment in time." Right? So that's where it's like me and you, hypnotically having that connection, and that's direction. Right? And that is really it's a form of direction, but that's also a trust in the actor, that the actor could find it within themselves, who they are, because they're not acting, they're being. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you would be doing. Yeah?
Right. If I may.
Okay, I only got
Yeah.
one more, because then I want to give people a chance for a break.
It's just, you're saying about the actor or actress going into themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but you're being prompted externally by the director.
You are, but all I'm doing, did you just hear what I did? Did I prompt her or did I guide her? There's a difference. Does anybody see that?
Mm.
I didn't tell her what to do. I didn't tell her how to be, right? I could have just thought well, I think you might really feel this character. Or she could have told me, I really feel this character. It's not for me to have a conversation off camera about, well, how do you feel it? I mean, what happened for you? What was your experience? I'd rather get it on camera. But it's also internal for her. So she could still keep whatever's going on for her inside. But it will show up on her face. Show up in her hands and in her body. But that's that's all I want. Right? I'm still respecting her privacy. Right? But only she knows where she's going. So if I say, look, open the door, walk down the stairs. That's guiding. That's not telling. It's guiding. What do you see down there? What's happening for you? Let me know. Right? I want you to feel it. Because you're down at the bottom of the stairs now. See how hypnotic my voice starts to turn? Right? Because if I talk to her like that, I'm not asking her to engage with me. I'm asking her just to listen to my voice. Do you understand that, Daniel?
Yeah, I actually got goosebumps.
I mean, if you were if you were directed like that, right? That still, it works on you as an actress, but it doesn't work on, how should I say, confidentiality-wise. It doesn't ask you to expose anything, right? It just asks you to be in that moment for the sake of that character that we worked on, that's what we want to do.
But you have to make a decision judgmentally as a director how you pitch that, don't you? Because, you know...
Judgmentally? Why would you use that word?
Well, because you could shout at it. You know.
Why would I shout at it? Did I need to?
Kick her, cry.
Bam! There are directors who do that. I mean, you know, there's a famous story of Quentin Tarantino
That's
choking,
exactly.
that actress, which I think was insane and he should be arrested for.
Yeah.
Especially to admit it publicly.
Look at the
He should be
way
arrested.
Peckinpah played around with Susan George in
Straw
Straw
Dogs.
Dogs, yeah.
Who's
Listen. You don't have to go that far.
Who did he strangle?
That's
What?
Who did he strangle?
Tarantino.
Tarantino in Glorious Bastards, I don't know her name, the foreign actress, Deborah. But
It was a scene. It must be the scene.
it was a scene where
Christoph
Christoph
Waltz-
Waltz is strangling her.
Yeah, towards
And
the end of
everything.
the
But
film.
what Tarantino decided as the director is, I'll do it.
Because he wanted the blue purple because he's a bit twisted, isn't
Yeah, but I'll do it. So he got his hand, those are his hands,
he?
in a close-up, strangling her for real on camera
Yeah.
to near death.
yeah.
Well, he did so miles to bums.
There was another one where what's he called?
Human centipede.
Malcolm
Oh, please don't talk about that one. We're done.
Malcolm McLaren, not Malcolm McLaren, Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell.
With what's it called? Clockwork Orange.
Uh-huh.
And the eyes.
Yeah.
Kubrick, yeah.
Yeah, Kubrick.
Yeah.
And he
I mean,
was
there's no
like Shelley Duvall in Shining.
See, and the same director
Yeah.
will tell you there's no other way to do it. There's always another way.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to physically keep his eyes open for an enormous amount of time.
Yeah. He went to hurt him.
Yeah, but I mean, then the actor will go, "Hey, for the job, I'll do it." You know what I mean? But please capture it, and let's not do this like 20 times. You know what I mean? There's a lot of famous stories about directors going too far.
Didn't he do a
It's not my
second
suggestion.
Jaws with the rope and the
What?
girl? The second Jaws, is it?
The second
Yeah, the
Jaws
girl
too?
on the rope, they broke all the ribs, didn't they, when they were dragging her through the water or whatever? The equipment that they done broke like a few bones or something.
A lot, yeah. It happened to Linda Blair in The Exorcist as well.
Yeah.
Where she
There's
just bounced back
stories
over
about
it.
William Friedkin's behaviour on that film.
Listen, man. There are directors who go too far. This is not what this is about. I think a little small mental hypnosis is not manipulation in any way. I
I'm
don't
glad
think.
I asked the question.
No. It's a good point to bring out because I don't want you to actually think that that's the right thing to do. And it's great that you all are knowledgeable in these different things that happens. But that's not what we're focusing on. So what I want to be able to do is give you guys like a 5-minute break or so that way, then when we come back, we'll have the lights out and watch some stuff. Yeah?
Yeah.
You can turn it off. Thank you, Grandma.